scrappy friends, I have a video for you today that is just a plain old process video. I did this a little while ago because I was just wanting to do a layout for me. And I have less and less time to do that now these days, now that school has started. But I think that it's super important as scrapbookers to make sure that we are doing layouts that are just for us, right? Sometimes I do layouts about my kids and about stuff that we're doing, but every once in a while I make sure that I do a layout that is just a story that I've been meaning to tell. And there was one day that my husband actually mentioned, hey, this is something you should do a layout about. And if you notice, it is a picture of a coffee cup in the microwave. So right now I'm just kind of working on a few layers and I'm trying to figure out what I want to do for the background because I am just not sure. I really love that heart paper from the Pretty Little Studios from the Pretty Please collection. And I really wanted to use it, but I only use bits and pieces of it. So I'm kind of thinking that I'm going to go with like a black and white type of thought. I'm going with the monochromatic. And I had already kind of decided that I was going to do this 8.5 by 11. I've been scrapping this size quite a bit lately. I think it's just because I have been having some mojo issues, and for whatever reason I've just been liking doing this size. And I don't mind that my album is a mishmash of 12 by 12 and 8.5 by 11 and 6 by 12 or 9 by 12, and like I kind of like that I have layouts that are not your traditional 12 by 12. I definitely love 12 by 12, but just, you know, sometimes when you just have the urge to do a different size, I think you should just try it, you know. I don't know. If you don't like it, then you don't like it. And like that's the nice thing about scrapbooking, there's really no rules. I mean, there's rules, but there's no rules, you know? It's, you do what you want. You do what looks good to you, and in the end, it's in your album. It's for you, so why, yeah. So I'm working on these layers. I really want some nice tight layers because that's just how I like to layer. I really love it when there's pieces that are just, bits of it are sticking out. And that layer that I use right there, I ripped, so it has some nice fun edges, and I really like the way that that looks when you layer like that. And as you can see, I'm kind of fluffing my layers a little bit, or like distressing them with my finger, so it's not like overly, but I just kind of like the dimension that that gives. When I did this, especially because I did this a couple of weeks ago, so I'm sorry that I am not like on top of my game here this year. Oh my gosh, I don't know what it is. I've just been having the longest time getting my videos from my desk to the computer to you guys on YouTube, in the YouTube land world of social media. Especially if it's a layout that I just did for me. So anyway, that is all besides the point. But I'm just working, just adding layers, and all of these are pretty much in the same colors of gray and white and blue. And I really just like that. The picture is in black and white. Actually, the photo is really not all that great because I ran out of ink while I was printing it. And in the corner, or at the bottom, I could kind of see where the ink is really going. So at this point, I'm thinking, well, maybe I'll use this from the Click Kits kit that had Ellie Studio stuff in it. And it had a coffee cup page, and I'm like, well, I'm doing a layout about coffee, and I don't always do, I have layouts about coffee, and I've done one recently using this kit, so, but I didn't use that paper, and so this time I'm like, well, maybe, but you'll see, it doesn't end up on here. In the end, I didn't care for the fishtails. For this, at least. It just doesn't really work with that square photo. And I was really liking the black and white and blue. It was just working for me. So at this point, I'm thinking, I think I'm just going to go with that. I might one more time try to add another piece that has a different color in it, but I stick with this. Like, I add it and I just don't like it. I mean, what can I say? So I'm going to add this piece up here to the top because that fancy pants paper that has all the writing on it was already that size. So there is a little bit more of a lip up near the top, and I'm okay with that. And I really like it with that piece of paper, and it says, what does it say? Something, and I put coffee. I think I love, maybe. But it was just really fun. So at first I started up with everything on the top. I outlined this. If I had thought about the fact that I was going to outline, I might have actually outlined some of the papers that I did layer in. But, yeah. On occasion, I like the way that layouts look when you outline stuff, especially when they're papers that aren't from the same collection. It kind of helps tie things together a little bit. So as you can see, time went on. I don't know what happened with my camera, but I may have stopped to go do something, and I got playing around and forgot to turn my camera on, and so here's where I am. Because I had a really hard time trying to figure out like the design of this. And this happens to me when I get in like my mojo is funky. And I think it's just because I don't have as much time to think about scrapbooking, so my brain doesn't think about all the cool ways that I could design a page. And so I was like, well, I really liked that semi-grid look without being a real grid. But I really wanted to use one of those pockets from Simple Stories, the Reset Girl. I bought a pack for my birthday, and I hadn't at this point used them yet. And I really wanted to use one because they are so stinking cute. They each have different patterns and stuff. And I picked a cute pink one, and I just couldn't make it work. And I'm like, well, maybe I'll just add the journaling card to put my journaling on. And then I just decided, you know what, I don't like it, so I don't use it. So I go back to what I had originally, and I really like that because I look through these Ellie Studio die cut pieces, and I love Ellie Studio die cut. I love their stuff. I need to go to their site and actually buy stuff from them or get like their kit or something, because I really like how they have like little tidbits, and it's always stuff that I can use. And I tend to hoard it because I'm afraid that I'm going to use it all. But I use it on this, and I really love, I picked the blue and the black pieces, and it just ties this layout together. I really love it. And I'm just this really is just a layout about how my husband and I have this habit of reheating our coffee. My husband especially, because he does not like cold coffee, where I will maybe, I might take a sip of cold coffee. But so we'll go and we'll put our cup in the microwave to heat it up, and we'll forget that we leave it there. And so one of the other of us will go to put our coffee in there, and we'll find a cup of coffee. This happens quite often in our house, probably because we are just really big coffee drinkers, and a lot of times we just make coffee instead of drinking stuff like soda. So, and I'm just gonna label this title Cold Coffee, because really that is what this layout is about. And I decided to do it in black and white, one, because I was running out of ink, but also I didn't want the colors of my kitchen to distract from, I thought it would be better to tell the story in black and white. I thought it would be kind of fun. And it kind of makes me think of something like of the past, because this is, you know, talking about something that we do, and it's kind of like a story. You know, it's like one of those stories that I would put in like a heritage album. And it's one of those stories that you might not remember. We might remember, but you know, we might not, I might have not told this story if, you know, if I didn't take the time to think about these little things that happen, you know, maybe in the future, this won't happen so much because our kids will be drinking coffee, and so we just won't be putting as many cups of coffee in the microwave, or our kids will just toss our coffee. I can't tell you how many cups of coffee I have tossed because we have left it in the microwave. It's just something that happens. So I am ending by putting some of the blue transparent stickers from the Pretty Little Studios sheet from Marie. I love that collection. I need to pull it out. I say this every time I do a layout where I pulled it out, because I really love that collection and I haven't used it nearly enough. And so I end it with, I put that jelly bean soup wood veneer. It's perfect. And I use some enamel dots and black and white and blue. And this is just like a really fun layout about cold coffee. What could be better? Right? So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys have a great week, and I will see you guys later.